Biosynthesis of fatty acids. Now, fatty acid synthesis in case of animal cells and yeast cells occurs in the cytosol, and fatty acid synthesis in case of plant cells occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. In case of plants, in the stroma of the chloroplast there is your fatty acid synthesis, and in animal cells and yeast cells there is no chloroplast, and that is the reason why the fatty acid synthesis takes place in the cytosol. Now, the biosynthesis of fatty acids involves the stepwise addition of 2 carbon units. Okay, 2 carbon units are added stepwise, and that is how the biosynthesis of fatty acids takes place. Now, these 2 carbon units, okay, are supplied by acetyl coenzyme A, and acetyl coenzyme A is produced by the oxidation of glucose. Okay, so glucose, you do oxidation of glucose, it results in the formation of acetyl coenzyme A, and this acetyl coenzyme A, the 2 carbon units of this acetyl coenzyme A are added stepwise, and that is how the biosynthesis of fatty acid takes place. Now, this acetyl coenzyme A is produced in the matrix of mitochondria, and the thing is that this acetyl coenzyme A cannot cross the inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay, and that is the reason why this acetyl coenzyme A shuttle system exists, okay, which transport these 2 carbon units from the mitochondria into the cytosol. Okay, acetyl coenzyme A shuttle system is there which transport the 2 carbon units, that is acetyl coenzyme A, from mitochondria into the cytosol. And why this acetyl coenzyme A shuttle system exists? Simply because acetyl coenzyme A cannot cross the inner mitochondrial membrane. Now, this acetyl group pass out the mitochondria as a citrate. Okay, so what acetyl coenzyme A shuttle system is all about, you convert this acetyl group into citrate, and this citrate then pass out the mitochondria. Now, in mitochondria, this acetyl coenzyme A reacts with oxaloacetate. Okay, this reaction produces citrate. Okay, and this reaction is catalyzed by citrate synthase. Okay, so citrate synthase catalyze the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A into citrate, and this happens when acetyl coenzyme A react with oxaloacetate. Now, in conditions where the acetyl coenzyme A and ATP have high concentration, in such conditions citrate leaves mitochondria and goes into the cytosol. Okay, citrate goes into the cytosol. Now, in cytosol, this citrate reacts with cytosolic coenzyme A and ATP. Okay, now when citrate reacts with cytosolic coenzyme A and ATP, then this produces acetyl coenzyme A and oxaloacetate, and this reaction is catalyzed by a citrate cleavage enzyme known as citrate lyase. Okay, once again, in those conditions in which acetyl coenzyme A and ATP are in high concentration, in such conditions the citrate leaves mitochondria and goes into the cytosol, and in cytosol this citrate, which has came from the mitochondria, reacts with cytosolic coenzyme A and ATP, and this reaction produces acetyl coenzyme A and oxaloacetate, and this reaction, okay, the conversion of citrate and cytosolic coenzyme A into the acetyl coenzyme A and oxaloacetate, this reaction is catalyzed by a citrate cleavage enzyme that is known as citrate lyase. Now, the thing is that this oxaloacetate cannot directly return to the mitochondrial matrix. Okay, now for crossing the mitochondrial matrix, this oxaloacetate is reduced into malate, and then this malate returns to mitochondria. Okay, there is no oxaloacetate transporter in the mitochondrial membrane, and that is the reason why oxaloacetate cannot directly return to mitochondrial matrix. First, you reduce oxaloacetate and you get malate, and then malate returns to the mitochondria because there are transporters for malate in the inner mitochondrial membrane. So this is how acetyl coenzyme A shuttle system looks like. Okay, this is mitochondrial matrix and this is cytosol. So in mitochondrial matrix, the acetyl coenzyme A is converted into citrate. Okay, and this reaction is catalyzed by citrate synthase. Now this citrate passes through inner mitochondrial membrane and goes into the cytosol, and this cytosol is converted to acetyl coenzyme A and oxaloacetate, and this acetyl coenzyme A in the cytosol is used for fatty acid synthesis, and the oxaloacetate which is produced here is converted into malate, and then this malate is transported back into the mitochondria, and in the mitochondrial matrix this malate is again converted into oxaloacetate, where it combines with acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, acetyl coenzyme A and oxaloacetate combine, and in the presence of citrate synthase again citrate is produced, which then would be transported back into the cytosol for fatty acid synthesis. So this is how the acetyl coenzyme A shuttle system looks like. Synthesis of palmitic acid. Now this palmitic acid is a 16 carbon saturated fatty acid. Okay, it is a saturated fatty acid and it contains 16 carbon. Okay, palmitic acid. Now the pathway of biosynthesis of saturated fatty acids is identical in all organisms. Okay, in all organisms, the biosynthesis of saturated fatty acid takes by same pathway. Now what is this pathway of biosynthesis of saturated fatty acids? Okay, this pathway is a sequence of 7 enzyme catalyzed reactions that converts 2 carbon units into 4 carbon units. Okay, the sequence of 7 reactions are there, 7 enzyme catalyzed reactions are there, which are converting 2 carbon units into 4 carbon units, and that is your pathway of biosynthesis of saturated fatty acids. Now the first committed and irreversible step in the fatty acid synthesis is the ATP dependent carboxylation of acetyl coenzyme A, which produces malonyl coenzyme A. Okay, so the formation of malonyl coenzyme A is the first step of fatty acid synthesis, which is irreversible. Okay, this ATP dependent carboxylation of acetyl coenzyme A, which produces malonyl coenzyme A, is irreversible and first step of fatty acid synthesis. Now this reaction, that is conversion of acetyl coenzyme A into malonyl coenzyme A, this is catalyzed by this enzyme known as acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase. Okay, and in acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase there is biotin as a prosthetic group. Okay, acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase has a prosthetic group biotin in it. Okay, and this acetyl coenzyme A is kind of catalyzing the first and irreversible step of fatty acid synthesis, that is the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A into malonyl coenzyme A. Now acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase is an allosteric enzyme. Okay, acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase is an allosteric enzyme. Now this palmitoyl coenzyme A is the final product of fatty acid synthesis, and this palmitoyl coenzyme A act as the negative modulator of acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase, whereas citrate is an allosteric activator of acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase. Okay, as the acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase is an allosteric enzyme, it has a negative modulator and an allosteric activator. So the palmitoyl coenzyme A is the negative modulator and citrate is the allosteric activator of acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase. Now these regulatory effects of citrate and palmitoyl coenzyme A depends on the phosphorylation stage of the enzyme. Okay, in which phosphorylation stage this acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase is, that will decide the regulatory effects of citrate and palmitoyl coenzyme A. Now, phosphorylation of the regulatory sites of the enzyme decreases the affinity of enzyme towards the citrate. Okay, if the regulatory sites of the enzyme are phosphorylated, then it will be its affinity will decrease towards citrate, and then high level of citrates would be required for the activation. Okay, for the activation of regulatory sites, high level of citrate would be required then if those regulatory sites are phosphorylated. Now the next step in the biosynthetic pathway is the synthesis of acetyl ACP and malonyl ACP. Okay, now the synthesis of acetyl ACP is catalyzed by this enzyme, that is acetyl transacylase, which is also known as acetyl transferase, and the synthesis of malonyl ACP is catalyzed by malonyl transacylase, which is also known as malonyl transferase. Okay, so that the next step in biosynthetic pathway is the synthesis of acetyl ACP and malonyl ACP, and these two products are like the synthesis of these two products are catalyzed by these two enzymes. So this is how it looks. Okay, this acetyl coenzyme A is converted into malonyl coenzyme A, that is the first step, and that is catalyzed by acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase, and this malonyl coenzyme A is converted into malonyl ACP, and this is the second step, and the second step is catalyzed by malonyl transferase, and the third step is the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A into acetyl ACP, and this step is catalyzed by acetyl transferase. So acetyl coenzyme A is converted to malonyl coenzyme A, and that malonyl coenzyme A is converted into malonyl ACP, and then this acetyl coenzyme A is converted into acetyl ACP. So there is formation of malonyl ACP and acetyl ACP. Now the activated intermediates of fatty acid biosynthesis are bound to a sulfhydryl group of a phosphopentathiene molecule. Okay, this phosphopentathiene molecule has a sulfhydryl group. To that sulfhydryl group, the activated intermediates of fatty acid biosynthesis are bound. Now in prokaryotes, this phosphopentathiene group is covalently bound to a small protein which consists of a single polypeptide chain, which is called acyl carrier protein ACP. Okay, so this acyl carrier protein, which is abbreviated as ACP, is a single polypeptide chain to which phosphopentathiene group is covalently bound, and this is happening in prokaryotes. Okay, in prokaryotes, this phosphopentathiene group is covalently bound to a small protein which consists of a single polypeptide chain, which is known as acyl carrier protein and which is abbreviated as ACP. Now in case of eukaryotes, this phosphopentathiene group is covalently bound to ACP domain of a multifunctional polypeptide which is termed as fatty acid synthase. Okay, so fatty acid synthase is that multifunctional polypeptide which has a ACP domain to which this phosphopentathione group is covalently bound in case of eukaryotes. This figure represents the reaction cycle for the biosynthesis of fatty acids. Okay, so this acetyl ACP is converted to acetone acetyl ACP by condensation, and then this acetone acetyl ACP is converted to D3 hydroxy acetyl ACP by reduction, and then this D3 hydroxy acetyl ACP is converted to crotonyl ACP, and this crotonyl ACP is then converted to butyryl ACP by reduction. And then the biosynthesis of palmitate requires 7 cycles for the elongation, followed by the final hydrolysis step. Okay, so this cycle 2, cycle 4 and cycle 4 to 7, these cycles are there for elongation of the fatty acid by 2 carbon units, and at last when it reaches C16 stage, then there is hydrolysis and ACP is removed, and whatever the left structure is there is your palmitic acid. So that this is how the palmitic acid synthesis takes place. Now last 4 enzyme reactions for fatty acid biosynthesis includes elongation step. Okay, in this elongation step there is condensation reaction, reduction reaction, dehydration reaction, and again reduction. Okay, so the last 4 enzymatic reactions are of the fatty acid biosynthesis is for elongation. Okay, it constitutes elongation step. Last 4 reaction is all about elongation, and this elongation step includes condensation, reduction, dehydration, and again reduction. Now the repetition of this elongation step, okay, increases by the chain length of the fatty acid by 2 carbons. Okay, if you want to elongate the fatty acid more, then you have to repeat this elongation step, and after doing elongation step the chain length will increase by 2 carbon atoms. Now 7 elongation cycles produces palmitic acid. Okay, it takes 7 elongation cycles, okay, to produce the palmitic acid. Now finally this palmitoyl thioesterase, this enzyme catalyzes the hydrolysis of thioester. Okay, this thioester which has bind to the acyl chain of the pantothine enzyme. Okay, and this hydrolysis of thioester releases free palmitate. Okay, so the hydrolysis of thioester by this palmitoyl thioesterase releases the free palmitate. Now, in the synthesis of palmitic acid, all carbon have passed the malonyl coenzyme A, except 2 carbons which were donated by the original acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, except these 2 carbons that were donated by original acetyl coenzyme A, all the carbons have passed through malonyl coenzyme A, okay, during the synthesis of palmitic acid. Now in the palmitic acid, carbon 16 and 15 are donated by acetyl coenzyme A, and rest of the carbon are donated by malonyl coenzyme A. Okay, so only carbon 16 and carbon 15 are donated by acetyl coenzyme A, and the rest of the carbons are donated by malonyl coenzyme A in the palmitic acid. And the enzyme that catalyze reaction 2 to 7, okay, from reaction 2 to reaction 7, those enzymes form a multi-enzyme complex that is known as fatty acid synthase. So this fatty acid synthase is a multi-enzyme complex, okay, that is formed by the enzymes that catalyze the reaction from 2 to 7. Now this fatty acid synthase has two major varieties, okay, fatty acid synthase 1 and fatty acid synthase 2. Okay, these two are the two major varieties of this fatty acid synthase, and this fatty acid synthase 1 is found in vertebrates and fungi, whereas this fatty acid synthase 2 is found in plant and bacteria. So in plant and bacteria have fatty acid synthase 2, vertebrates and fungi have fatty acid synthase 1, and these two are the two major varieties of fatty acid synthase. Now this FAS1, fatty acid synthase 1, which is found in vertebrates, is a single large multifunctional polypeptide which have 7 domains. Okay, in FAS1 there are 7 domains. Now in mammals, this fatty acid synthase consists of two identical polypeptides, and these two identical polypeptides of fatty acid synthase are referred to as homodimers. Okay, so the fatty acid synthase of mammals have two identical polypeptides which are known as homodimers. Fungi consist two different fatty acid synthase. In fungi, fatty acid synthase has two different multifunctional polypeptides known as alpha and beta. Okay, alpha and beta are these two different multifunctional polypeptides that exist in the fatty acid synthase of fungi. Now, out of 7 domains, 3 domains are present on alpha subunit and 4 domains are present on beta subunit. Okay, on alpha subunit there are 3 domains, and on beta subunit there are 4 domains out of this 7 domains. Now this FAS2, fatty acid synthase 2, which is found in bacteria and plants, is a complex made up of 7 different polypeptides. Okay, FAS2 is a complex made up of 7 different polypeptides, and this 7 different polypeptide catalyze separate reactions. Okay, each polypeptide catalyze a separate reaction in the FAS2, which is found in bacteria and plants. Stoichiometry of the synthesis of palmitate: 7-acetyl coenzyme A plus 7-CO2 plus 7-ATP plus 7H2O will give 7-malonyl coenzyme A plus 7-ADP. Acetyl coenzyme A plus 7-malonyl coenzyme A plus 14-NADPH gives palmitate plus 7-CO2 plus 14-NADP plus 6H2O. So 8-acetyl coenzyme A plus 7-ATP plus 14-NADPH plus H2O gives palmitate plus 7-ADP plus 14-NADP plus. Elongation of fatty acids. Now the normal product of cytosolic fatty acid synthase complex is palmitic acid. Okay, palmitic acid is the normal product of cytosolic fatty acid synthase complex. Now the fatty acids longer than 16 carbons can be formed by addition of 2 carbon units, and this addition of 2 carbon units will take place by doing elongation reaction. Okay, so for a synthesis of fatty acid longer than 16 carbons, elongation reaction must take place. In eukaryotes, the fatty acid elongation takes place in endoplasmic reticulum and in mitochondria. Again, in case of eukaryotes, in endoplasmic reticulum and in mitochondria, there is fatty acid elongation. Now, the most active elongation system is found in endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, in endoplasmic reticulum, the elongation system for the fatty acid is the most active. Now this elongation system adds malonyl coenzyme A onto the palmitate, and this addition is kind of similar to the action of fatty acid synthase, except that here in this elongation system coenzyme A is involved and not the ACP. Okay, in the action of fatty acid synthase ACP is involved, but here in elongation system coenzyme A is involved. Okay, so elongation system adds malonyl coenzyme A2 onto the palmitate, and that is similar to the action of fatty acid synthase, but here coenzyme A is involved and not ACP. Stearic acid, which is made up of 18 carbons, is a common product of the elongation system. Okay, elongation system have a common product, that is stearic acid, and that is made up of 18 carbons. So this is how it looks. Acetyl coenzyme A adds with malonyl coenzyme A, and it gives beta ketoacyl coenzyme A. Okay, now this beta ketoacyl coenzyme A is subjected to reduction, dehydration, and again reduction, and that results in the formation of acetyl coenzyme A, 18 carbon. Okay, as you can see, the 2 carbon units have added up. So acetyl coenzyme A plus malonyl coenzyme A gives beta ketoacyl coenzyme A, and this goes under reduction, dehydration, and again reduction, and that produces acetyl coenzyme A. Now the mitochondrial elongation system uses acetyl coenzyme A units to elongate fatty acid rather than malonyl coenzyme A units. Okay, and this mitochondrial elongation system elongates the fatty acids for the synthesis of structural lipid for organelle. Okay, now in mitochondrial elongation system there is synthesis of structural lipids for the organelle, and this mitochondrial elongation system uses acetyl coenzyme A to elongate fatty acid rather than using malonyl coenzyme A units. Unsaturation of fatty acid. Now both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, okay, both of them are capable of introducing double bonds in newly synthesized fatty acids. Okay, in prokaryotes and eukaryotes, both are kind of able to introduce double bonds in newly synthesized fatty acids. Now in eukaryotes there is a microsomal system, okay, which contain these three things. Okay, that is NADH cytochrome B5 reductase, cytochrome B5, then oxygen dependent desaturase, which has a mixed function of oxidase or a mixed function of oxygenase, and it also contains a single non-heme iron atom which causes the denaturation. Okay, this microsomal system causes the denaturation in eukaryotes. It contains NADH cytochrome B5 reductase, cytochrome B5, oxygen dependent desaturase, and also contain a single non-heme iron atom, and this microsomal system causes desaturation. Now all the components of this desaturase system are integral membrane protein. Okay, all the components of this desaturase system are integral membrane protein. Now mammals are unable to introduce double bonds beyond delta 9 in a fatty acid chain. Okay, beyond delta 9 mammals cannot introduce double bonds, and that is the reason why mammals cannot synthesize linoleic acid and linolenic acid. Okay, these two fatty acids cannot be synthesized by mammals because they are unable to introduce double bonds beyond delta 9. So this is how the electron transport reaction mediated by denaturase complex looks like. Okay, there is your fatty acyl coenzyme A, which is saturated, then it becomes unsaturated fatty acyl coenzyme A, and this causes the desaturase, reduced desaturase to become oxidized, and this causes the oxidized cytochrome B5 to become reduced cytochrome B5, and that results in the conversion of FADH2 to FAD, and then this NADH gets converted into NAD+. Okay, so this is your electron transport reaction mediated by desaturase complex.